Welcome back to The Line. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled late last month that the public sector labor unions can no longer force workers to pay mandatory fees. A 5-4 vote does away with a 41-year-old decision allowing states to require that public employees pay some fees to unions that represent them, even if they choose not to join that union. The court ruled that these so-called fair share fees violate workers' constitutional rights when unions use those fees to support causes the worker might not agree with politically. This decision has been deemed a victory for right-to-work supporters and a blow to labor unions in states such as New Mexico. That allowed these so-called fair share fees. Amir, I want to start with you on this. There's a lot of ways we can go on this, but let's just start here. What does this mean for workers and unions here? Is it catastrophic? Is it just a blip in the radar? What's your sense of it?
No, well, I think it depends on what side you're on.
Okay.
But I do think we've had a 40-year law, which the Abood law, which was granted on First Amendment grounds and said, you know what, we think that labor unions help public sector employees because they help them with their wages, they help them with their benefits, they help them with the number of hours they work.
Yep.
And public sector workers, you shouldn't be able to get a free ride on all of the good work that these labor unions do, so you're going to have to start paying your fair share of dues. So you just kind of figure out what your fair share is, and just so say it's $100 a month.
Sure.
We're going to say 50% is going to go towards the advocacy that you do for the worker to get them their benefits, et cetera, and the other 50% is going to go to the advocacy for political activities. They've been trying to overturn this for several years. In 2016, January of 2016, why this has come up, I'm just going to give you a history.
This is good.
January of 2016, California teacher case went up to the Supremes and arguing that, you know what, I don't like the political positions that my teachers union is taking, and you guys are using my money, and I don't like those positions. So that's violating my First Amendment right. The Department of Justice, in a friend of the court brief, this is under the Obama White House, said this is not a First Amendment issue because we're going back to Abood, which says split it up, split it up, and they can do that. Okay, so the case is argued January of 2016. It was obvious the 5 Supremes at that time, including Justice Scalia, were like, they weren't even asking questions. They were like, we hate this, you know. So they knew where the case was going to go. They knew what the case was going to go. A month later, Justice Scalia dies. So then it's going to be a 4-4 decision. So it sends it back to California, who had ruled in favor of the unions.
Right.
Okay. Flash forward to 2017. When this case comes up, Mr. Janus is from Illinois, state of Illinois, and he's making the same argument. But the Department of Justice has changed hands, so to speak. So the Department of Justice does a new friend of the court brief saying this is not a First Amendment issue. Okay, so it is a First Amendment issue, but not the way that the Abood thing is going, because they are speaking. The unions are speaking, and the unions have become much more political now. So that's where that's where it went.
That was well worth it. I appreciate that background. You know, it's interesting, that First Amendment argument, Eric. You hear that a lot. You know, is that now put to bed with this decision? How do you know? It's a tough one because, you know, that First Amendment right thing about fair share. What's the matter with that? Is my bottom line question about people paying their fair share. If that union, let's say, for example, helps them get better pay, should you not be paying in your fair share on that? It seems reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a ruse. I think the First Amendment issue is just kind of a real sort of ruse to hide the fact that really what this was about. They recruited Janus. This essentially, you know, this wasn't a person who said, "Gee, I'm really worried about this." This is a person who they were looking for a plaintiff. They recruited this Janus gentleman. Who are we talking about? These are police officers. These are first responders. These are teachers. These are folks on the front line providing public services for folks, right? So what does it mean for them? Do they have the right to argue for better wages and better conditions? We're all free riders, right? Because we've benefited from these public sector unions, primarily, by the way, who've helped with the biggest gains, whether it's conditions of work or weekends or 40-hour work weeks or workplace protections. So ultimately, the result of this is going to be that the one organized, relatively well-funded group that has fought consistently for the rights of workers is now going to be undermined somewhat. And it was the biggest counterbalance we have to literally hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars in corporate and special interest money on the other side. These public sector unions were really, and by the way, they only ruled on issues that were very specific to worker rights.
Right.
You can disagree with some of their endorsements, but typically those endorsements are based on, did you toe the line on protecting working people? They don't rule on choice. They don't rule on issues that aren't in their roundhouse. So really, this is going to be a big blow. In New Mexico, hopefully, we'll be okay. But for in a lot of states, this is going to be a game changer in terms of who we elect.
Sure. Adrian, your sense of it. Is it Equality New Mexico talking about this already? I know you're not a union shop, but like Eric makes the point, it filters down to everybody. When you push wages up through union, all wages go up. That's the standard argument. What's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
What's your sense
this
of it?
decision is all about fairness, and it is a blow to working people. We know that higher union membership means higher access to opportunity for everybody in a community.
Okay.
And so we see this, and I see this as an attack on working people from well-connected people, the corporations that they run, working to attack the power of working people. And so the way that I see this decision and the speech argument is that it's okay for Citizens United to be on the table and allow corporations to use as much money as possible to affect elections, but it's not okay for working people to do the same thing. So we're seeing an imbalance of power based on who has access to money in the political realm.
Merritt, I'm going to hold you off there. Merritt, I held you off last for a specific reason, because this is clearly a victory for the right to work folks, some of whom right here in our state have the vision of Paul Gessing's head floating around our table here watching this conversation.
He's a friend.
Well, there you go. He's a friend here. He's a friend of ours here, too. But you know where he's coming from on this. He's really pushing hard on right to work here. How does this change the argument for right to work?
Well, I'm looking specifically at New Mexico, and in my undergraduate studies in economics, I spent a lot of time on labor economics. I found it very, very interesting.
Yeah.
And what struck me is unions are are workers asserting their rights, and it's voluntary. And I'm a free market person, and I think unions are voluntary. You vote to have a union shop, that's great. You don't get the votes, that's great. So if you look at the most visible unions in this state, public sector, let's just see. Let me go back. My point is that I think this is going to help unions really stand up and prove their case to their members. And if they really deliver, and I would give the example of the NEA and AFT, regardless of whether you agree with them or not, they have been standing on everyone's desk over teacher evaluations and Park. I mean, they have earned their money. Albuquerque Police Union, controversial, but they stood up for their folks. Asks me, CYFD, I feel like it's crickets. You're a social worker in this state.
Right.
You've got a lot of burdens and a lot of things you're not prepared for. And I'm not sure that there's the sense of urgency with AFSCME, because everyone has to join, everyone has to pay, every state jobs are good. I think they've gotten very complacent. I think this might shake them up and put them into a greater advocacy mode for their members to keep members.
Are you okay with a system where you get some services like legal services and legal help for your fair share, but you may not get the full boat from? Do you know what I mean? If you don't have to pay in, I guess my struggle is, how is this going to work? Who gets what benefits if you don't have to pay? Do you know what I mean? I don't know how the unions themselves
But here's the
make
thing.
these decisions.
Why do
Here's the
state
thing.
employees even don't need a union? We're so regulated.
Well, here's the reason.
Yeah.
Here's the reason why. When we have these budget fights, which is really where the rubber hits the road.
Yeah.
How do we fund things like CYFD? How do we fund things like that we say we care about?
Right.
Early childhood. Adrian and I were talking about this. It's the budget conversations and where we put our money. That's fundamentally how we show what we value, right?
Why do the unions get a role in that?
Because they, to your point about CYFD, the reason why CYFD is underfunded, the reason why the caseloads are outrageous for folks who are handling Medicaid cases is because we've had a governor that has we have a budget that's where we were 10 years ago, right? So we're not funding the basic investments in the kind of services that people need to have a
Well,
safe.
I mean, that agency has been broken for decades. I think we can be clear on that.
Sure.
It's been underfunded.
We can all agree to
that. And there is an entrenched workforce and an entrenched level of supervisors. And the union isn't doing anything to challenge that or really challenge the positions any administration is taking, would be my point. And if you're going to be a union shop, I want to see the union advocate. And more people will sign up and want to pay full fees.
Great points there, Merritt. Really appreciate it. Have to end that there, but we'll be back with more from our line panelists in a few minutes.